and use them to actually tell your story and warm up your leads on the ad itself, which is very key. We'll show you how to leverage the power of video advertising to turn that cold traffic into piping hot leads, how to create a scalable approach to advertising where you can actually scale up quickly, and how to gain an edge in your market by targeting your ads directly in front of your competitors. We call it hijacking your competitors' traffic, right? And here's what you need to know. After the training today, you'll know how to use YouTube video ads to create a consistent and scalable pipeline of new hot leads and sales. And this system is designed to take you to over 6 figures per month in revenue just from your YouTube ads. Now, don't just take my word for it. I want to show you some examples of people who have implemented these strategies that we're going over on this webinar. These are client results that they are getting right now with YouTube ads. You can see here, 10,900 new leads in just 2 weeks at a 6% conversion rate. On the right-hand side, 4.5x ROAS. And as you can see right here, that's the last 14 days at the time of taking that picture. Also, we showed you the $514,000 revenue for 44,000 ad spend. That's an 11.7x ROI on the YouTube ads, over 6 figures a month. Actually, this is James who was talking about that, right? Our mutual client that he was working for, right? So he was doing kind of more agency work with that client, and we helped them scale to their first 6-figure month using the YouTube ad strategies we helped him set up, that 11.7x ROI. Right? Here's Adam Chandler, and this is incredible. Like he, is getting webinar registrations consistently down to $7 per registrant, right? Really loves what we're doing. We actually did an update with him, and he got in his second month of running YouTube ads, $29,000 of high ticket sales for just $3,600 of ad spend in 1 month, in that second month of running his YouTube ads. Here's another example, right? If you're running webinar registrations, right? You're running a high ticket webinar or a course webinar, whatever it happens to be. This is just 1 day, $3.39 conversions, hundreds of conversions coming in a single day. That's what that looks like. Obviously, as you can see here, this is an example of a 6-figure month from YouTube ads. This is actually, with this client, the first month after launching YouTube ads, $122,852 from those YouTube ads. You can see here are some other screenshots, a no-touch 1997 sale from just yesterday. On the right-hand side, you can see the breakdown of literally just 1 day of a high-ticket application funnel, right? $959 spent, 92 emails, cost per lead $10.42, applications coming from YouTube 10, bookings 9. They kind of flipped how some people do it. Cost per booking $117, but those are high quality. Imagine getting on the phone and selling, I believe it's a $5,000 product that he was selling, right? So just imagine being able to get these high quality YouTube ads running for your own business. Here's another example, over 1,760 webinar leads in 7 days at just $4.47 a lead. You can't get that anymore on Facebook. That's the crazy thing. You used to be able to get low-cost leads like this, low-cost webinar registrations like this on Facebook, but the costs keep going up and up. There's a lot more competition, but YouTube is still in that Wild West area. Not as many people are capitalizing on it, so you can get these, first mover ad costs. Right, here's another example. This is actually with a SaaS product, software product, over 14,000 downloads in just 2 weeks, saying it's the best campaign that they've ever done with these ad outreach YouTube ads. This is incredible. I love David Emmons. He's getting over a 3x ROI, spending over $1,000 a day on YouTube ads. And his niche is, if you're familiar with like craft fairs and art fairs. I love his business too. Craft fairs and art fairs. He teaches people who sell art at art fairs how to sell online. He has a $997 course. That is a niche. That's a small niche, right? People ask me, will YouTube work for their niche? If it works for David, he's spending over $1,000 a day selling his $1,000 course to people who sell at craft fairs, trying to sell online. You guys can as well leverage that power of YouTube ads. Here's another example, sub $2 high ticket webinar registrations, $1.97. Here's another one, $70,000 a month, all just from YouTube ads. You can see the conversation over here, excited about, feeling that 100K month. And some of you watching it are going after that, 100K month. They actually feel it's possible, getting really excited about it. And spoiler, they did hit their 6-figure months, and they've been hitting those. You can actually see here's a video we did with Nick and Zach, crossing over that 6-figure mark, all from YouTube ads. And obviously you can see, just how excited they are in that video. So before I get into the content, we're gonna be breaking down how all of this works in just a second. I want to properly introduce myself. My name is Cach, and I am the founder of Ad Outreach, located right here in Boston, Massachusetts. And I actually started out on YouTube, 10 years ago. I actually built a YouTube channel, AppFind, grew it to over 400,000 subscribers, I work with a lot of different mobile applications, and I started running ads for those mobile apps. And I'll talk a little bit more about my backstory in just a second. And then I started to see that there's more opportunity beyond just, promoting apps with YouTube ads, actually being able to promote businesses, coaches, courses, consultants, And so right now what I do is I help entrepreneurs and marketers like yourself harness the power of YouTube video ads to grow and scale your business. Now, a little bit of that backstory though, this is the YouTube channel that I built up. I still have a team that manages it. I do a kind of 4-hour work week, Tim Ferriss style. I record my audio every once in a while. But you can see here, I spent over 10 years on YouTube, garnered millions and millions of views, over 400,000 subscribers. So I'm not just new to YouTube. I've been around on YouTube for over 10 years, running YouTube ads for over 5 years, I have been doing and building this up over this period of time to get to this point today where I'm walking you through this webinar. So as you can see, here's just a picture of me teaching YouTube ads. Now this is one of the ads that we have done, but this is also me teaching at a mastermind of 7- and 8-figure business owners, entrepreneurs. We did it in an actual incredible, luxury mansion. I mean, I think this was it was a mansion, and I was actually teaching these high-ticket entrepreneurs, 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs, how to run YouTube ads. So I've done that. The same types of things that I've taught in these private venues, I'm going to be teaching you today on this webinar. So again, I'm Cach. That's a little bit of my backstory, I started on YouTube 10 years ago, built up a YouTube channel, started running YouTube ads for some of the sponsors that I had there, and then really discovered the power of YouTube ads for high ticket and YouTube ads for courses, online products, SaaS products, whatever it happens to be, running YouTube ads for businesses. And so that's what I'm excited to dive into right now. And this is where we're gonna start out with the 5 pillars of successful YouTube video ads. So before we get into exactly those pillars, I want to talk about the old way, because this is very important, The old way that a lot of people are advertising, you're probably doing one of these right now, is running Facebook ads, But the problem with Facebook ads alone is there's high competition, and you know this. If you're running Facebook ads right now, you know that the competition is fierce. People are pouring into, everybody and their uncle is running Facebook ads. There's increasing prices, So that means that the costs are going up and up because of the competition, and it's expensive and hard to scale, Even if you do get a winning ad, it's hard to scale that campaign up just because of the way that the Facebook algorithm works. Now, maybe you're running search ads, And search ads can work well, but the problem is there's no visuals, So there's nothing actually indoctrinating the viewer. They're very expensive and highly competitive. Or maybe you're doing no advertisements at all. You're just doing organic posts. The problem is that's really time intensive. It's not predictable or scalable. It's very inconsistent. So these are the old ways. The new way is using YouTube video ads to actually build out your customer avatar, who you're trying to reach, creating a video ad that's designed to convert, getting that ad in front of the right people at the right time with the right message, and getting consistent leads and customers on autopilot from your YouTube video ads. So what I want you to really do is realize the opportunity that is available to you right now and actually choose to leverage the power of YouTube ads for your own business. Because here are some stats, There's over 1 billion hours of YouTube watched every single day. Now, Google actually ran a study, and 80% of 18 to 49-year-olds watch YouTube in a given month. It's a lot more than you may think. Now, here's the kicker, and this is incredible. This is in that same Google study. It said that 68% of people use YouTube to help make purchase decisions. Let that sink in. 68% of people use YouTube to help make purchase decisions. And I know some people that have said, oh, that seems really high. And it is, but think about it, right? It makes sense. When you're going to buy a new smartphone, whether it be an iPhone, Android phone, whatever it is, what are you doing? You're looking that up on YouTube. You're watching a video review. You're going to buy a new car. You're watching videos on YouTube, right? And people do the same thing if they're trying to buy, education, online courses, software products, whatever it happens to be that you're selling, right? People are going on YouTube as well to make those purchase decisions. But here's the thing, 68% of people make purchase decisions based on YouTube, but only 9% of businesses use YouTube video ads. That is a huge discrepancy here, right? There is a huge delta between that 68% and 9%, and that's what you can take advantage of. That's why YouTube is really a treasure chest just waiting for you to discover its potential, right? And actually get in early into what I call the golden era of YouTube ads. I've actually had conversations with lots of media buyers and business owners who tell me, I wish I got in early on Google, like 10 years ago. Or I wish I got in early on Facebook, 5 years ago, right? They're like, oh, those were dirt cheap leads. You could have made so much money. They hear the stories of people who got in early, did really well. But they don't realize, this is what I always say, they don't realize the same thing is happening right now with YouTube ads. Right now is the golden era of YouTube ads. This is your opportunity to take advantage of those first mover costs, those lower, getting in early on YouTube ads. And that's what we're gonna be covering. So, also, sometimes I hear people saying like, I don't have to worry because I advertise on Facebook, something like that. But here's the thing. What if Zuck flips the switch, right? And maybe he won't actually do that. And I know Facebook has been down. There was a Facebook was down for periods of time. But here's the thing. More realistically, what happens if Facebook suspends your account? I've spoken with a lot of people who have had their accounts suspended almost seemingly for no reason. Nick and Zach that we talked about earlier, before they started running those YouTube ads to get to those 6-figure months, they were permanently suspended from Facebook. So that could happen to you at any time if you put all your eggs into one basket, right? And so you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself, and in all seriousness, right? Obviously, it's funny to talk about, what if Zuck flips the switch, etc. But in all seriousness, right, Facebook and search costs are rising, right? And they're also hard to scale. Even if you do get, a good campaign running, they're hard to scale. Well, YouTube is untapped. And it's just best practice, right, to have diversified sources of leads and sales. So how do YouTube ads actually work? That's what we're going to be breaking down right now. So first I want to talk about YouTube in-stream ads. Now these are also called pre-roll ads, and you can see an example of a YouTube in-stream ad right here on the screen. This is an example of an earlier ad that I had done for a course on Udemy. And you can see here that there is a call to action button at the bottom left of the YouTube ad. So you can see here it says enroll in a course today. You can see the link. You can see a display URL, right? So you actually have the extended link that people are going to be able to click on, right? And so that call to action button is how they're going to go to that next step. Let's say that goes into your funnel, right? That goes into a webinar registration, a VSL, that goes to your product purchase page, whatever it happens to be. And on the right-hand side, they have the skip ad button. Now, here's the thing with the skip ad button, right, and we'll talk about this in a second, you only pay for YouTube ads. And this is incredible, right? A lot of people don't know this. You only pay for YouTube ads if somebody watches 30 seconds or clicks on your ad. Let that sink in for a second. You only pay if somebody watches 30 seconds of your ad. So if somebody skips your ad before 30 seconds, you don't pay a single thing. So you actually learn to love that skip button. We'll talk more about that in just a second and how that is one of the best deals in advertising right now. Now, when you have a YouTube in-stream ad that is playing On a computer, you can see that plays before a different video. The desktop has an ad banner that persists right at the top right-hand side of the screen, even after the ad ends or is skipped. Now on mobile, you can see it features your channel at the bottom there. It also shows the in-stream ads on mobile as well. You can see an example right here for the mobile in-stream ads. Now, I alluded to the fact that you should learn to love the skip button, right? And I really mean this, because the skip button is incredible. It'll be your best friend, because if somebody skips your ad on YouTube between 5 and 29 seconds, you don't pay. You don't pay a single cent if somebody skips your ad. Let that really sink in what that means. That means that in those 30 seconds, you can pull in people who are a good fit, repel people that are a bad fit, and only pay for the people that are genuinely interested in what you have to say. Other platforms don't do this. You have to pay for every impression, on Facebook, right? Anytime somebody scrolls through, Facebook's kind of like Tinder, right? One swipe, you're gone, right? But you still paid for it. On YouTube, you're only paying after somebody chooses to watch 30 seconds of your ad. Just think about what that means for the way that you're advertising and your ability to only reach people who are actually interested. We'll get more into that in just a second, when we actually dive into how these ads work. There's another type of ad as well that I want to quickly touch on. We have found that these discovery ads, they work very well for building up brands. I technically will recommend, and we'll talk about this in a second, the in-stream ads, or they're also called TrueView ads, the in-stream ads for direct response YouTube ads. But YouTube discovery ads, these are ones that appear in search results. You can see an example on a desktop, an example on mobile. So that's where it feels like you've naturally discovered a video. You can actually see that the ad pops up right there, and then they click on it and they go to the video page. So it shows up in the search results as a thumbnail, headline, a couple lines of text. You can also see that this also appears as a recommended video. So an actual advertised recommended video alongside other videos on YouTube. Now, which YouTube ads should you actually use? YouTube in-stream ads are going to be best, and this is what we're going to mostly be focusing on, best for driving direct response conversions, sales, and leads, right? Getting people off of YouTube into your funnel and website, right? This is the go-to for conversions, because this is where you're hijacking that competitor's traffic, getting in front of other videos on YouTube. That's where you're able to get those direct conversions. Discovery ads, that's going to be better for building your brand, driving subscribers. It simulates somebody naturally discovering your content on YouTube. Again, there is absolutely a time and a place for discovery ads, and we have clients that have been very successful building up their brand with those discovery ads. But we're mostly going to be focusing on in-stream ads because those are the best for driving actual conversions and sales. Now, why are YouTube ads so effective? Right, and this is a question that I have a lot of people ask me, like, right, why are YouTube ads so effective? Besides the fact that not as many people are advertising right there, so it has kind of that, entry cost, right, first mover ad cost. YouTube ads are so effective because of the learner's mindset. This is a concept I call the learner's mindset, because somebody on YouTube is actively searching for knowledge, right? They're actively searching for what they're wanting to look up. Think about all the times you go on YouTube, you look up how to do this, right? So how to exercise, how to lose weight. And if you're running an exercise course or program, or you're a fitness coach, getting in front of that video, getting in front of somebody who's in the learner's mindset is the perfect time to reach somebody who's primed to buy. Versus think about Facebook ads. We've all done it. You're scrolling through Facebook, right? And you see an interesting post, but you're not actually looking for anything, right? You're not reaching somebody with intent. The learner's mindset is somebody who's actively trying to seek knowledge on a subject, especially if you're a coach, consultant, or course creator. This is incredibly powerful because that's what you're doing, is you're trying to teach people. If you reach them when they're trying to learn, that's the perfect time. So let me illustrate this. As you can see here, let's say somebody's trying to learn how to code. So they look up how to code, they see this video, the how to learn to code video. And they go ahead, they click on this video, like, all right, perfect, I'm gonna learn how to code. But instead of that video playing, your ad plays in front of that video. As you can see, this is that ad we showed you earlier, talking about, the complete developer course, right? Actually showing off different, courses that they can take. And this is running directly in front of that video on YouTube. So you're essentially hijacking that traffic, introducing them to what you have to offer on your YouTube ad, and then people will go ahead and be like, ooh, I want to enroll in that course. They get excited, right? You capture their attention. They click enroll in the course, and then they go directly to your page. In this case, Udemy, but this could be your own course page. This could also be a webinar, a VSL, whatever it happens to be. They go into your funnel, and they're ready to buy. This is what I call ethically hijacking YouTube traffic and sending it into your own funnel. And this is one of the best principles of why YouTube ads are so powerful and why they convert and work so well. Now, what does this actually look like? Here's a glimpse inside a high-ticket webinar funnel. You can see here that obviously this is selling for a high-ticket, product, and they're getting hundreds of conversions on each of these, well over 1,000 collectively, for an average of $6.77. So these are webinar registrations, high-ticket webinar registrations off of YouTube. People who are genuinely interested in actually, enrolling for the product. And here's another example, right? Over $6,400 in sales, 4-to-1 ROI already off of a webinar, where they had YouTube ad to webinar. Because think about it, right? What is a YouTube ad other than, what is, a YouTube video that somebody's watching, and a webinar other than a long form video. So somebody's on YouTube and they're actually in the learner's mindset. They're trying to learn. They're watching a video. If you get in front of them with an ad, then you're reaching somebody who's actively trying to learn. And then you have a webinar. They have time, they have desire to watch the webinar right then and there to learn what you have to teach, or watch the VSL to learn what you have to offer, right? And so here's another, obviously we talked about Adam Chandler before. This is how you can get that $29,000 for $3,600 of ad spend, is because you're reaching people who are actively searching what you have to offer. This is what that looks like. So now we're going to dive into how to create a video ad that actually provides genuine value and incites action. I call this the value ad. So the biggest mistake that entrepreneurs and marketers make when creating video ads is they just throw content and ideas at the wall and they see if any will stick, right? Think about the times that you've seen other people do this, or maybe you've done this. You're just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to see what sticks, having all of these different ideas, and you don't know what to actually do. And the second biggest mistake, and this is what a lot more people fall into the trap of, is they start from scratch. They don't have a plan. They don't have an outline or a script in mind. They just start with a blank slate and they try to write everything off of a blank slate. They try to create an entire ad from nothing. And oftentimes they miss the mark because they're not following a process for what's actually going to convert. Right? You need to follow a proven process to create a video ad that actually converts. That's what we're diving into in this part of the video. So you can see here that we actually have a proven process. Now I blurred some of this out, obviously to respect the privacy of our clients, and this is some of the documents that we actually give our clients on how to create these YouTube ads and these videos. But here's in general how it works. It starts with a production plan. This is kind of like a customer avatar, right? So you're figuring out exactly who you're trying to reach, exactly who that person is who's interested in your video, the types of things that you can say to capture their attention. Then you're organizing, right? So you're creating a video outline, right? You're creating the hook, the educate, the call to action. We'll be diving into that in just a second, where you're creating an outline of how that video will flow. And then the third step is obviously actually packaging it all together. That's writing the actual script that you're going to use for your YouTube ad, right? And so we obviously talked about this, but these are the video ad components. Successful video ads we found have three main components. They have a hook, right, that captures people's attention, where you want to pull the right people in while pushing the bad people away. You have those 30 seconds, right? If somebody skips in the first 30 seconds, you don't pay. So you want to pull the right people in, push the wrong people away. You want to have a hook that captures attention. Then you have the educate part, right? So this is where you provide actual value for the viewer, those golden nuggets. And then of course you have the call to action, right? This elicits the desired action from the viewer. So you have that hook, educate, and call to action. Those are the three main components of a YouTube ad.
So to actually break that down, obviously it starts with the hook. Now, you only have 6 seconds before a viewer can skip your video ad, right? So you want to hook them in. As you can see the picture on the right, like it's like a goldfish, right? They've got that 6-second memory. They're trying to see what are they going to do? Are you going to hook them in, or are they going to skip the ad? So you need to capture their attention by calling out the viewer for a problem they have and offering to give them that solution, initially for free in the video. The hook is what primes the viewer and sets the stage for your entire video ad. Now, once you've hooked them, that's when you need to educate. And this is what a lot of people leave out. We always recommend having a longer form YouTube ad, right? So it's anywhere from 2 to 6 minutes. And that's because you really want to provide some type of value and golden nuggets to the viewer so that they see you as the expert and they're going to need to learn more. Either whether it be about your product, your service, you're on your webinar, whatever it happens to be, right? You give them a couple of actionable golden nuggets that they can use to solve their problem, even if they don't buy, right? So obviously if a service or a coach or consultant, of course, you want to give the viewer full and complete information on 1 or 2 topics, but obviously leave them wanting more, right? So you give them a little bit, right? You give them a couple of golden nuggets. Then on a webinar or a VSL, you give them a handful, right? And then obviously you're selling the pot of gold. And that's what you're looking to do. And now if it's a product, you want to show, explain, demonstrate, right, how your product solves their problem, so that when they click on the ad, they're going to know how it solves their problem, they're going to want to buy. And then of course, the third component is that call to action. And this is a clear and concise call to action, getting that viewer off of YouTube into your sales funnel. And here's the really important part. You need to make this stupid simple. Explain exactly what they need to do, exactly what they'll get from it, and really get them to take action. What you want to do is you want to force a decision between taking action and skipping the ad. So I always add a little bit at the end of the video, where it kind of has a flashing arrow, maybe some music's playing, to get people to actually step up and take action. And that really just forces people to make that decision. Now, when it comes to producing your video ad, the biggest factor stopping business owners from creating video ads, right, is not how difficult it is to produce. It's how difficult they think it is. You don't need fancy camera equipment like this guy on the right here. One of my clients is currently making over $200,000 a month off of just one video ad he filmed on his iPhone, right? Over $200,000 a month on a video he filmed on your iPhone. Everybody thinks that filming their video is the most important part of the process. This is wrong. It's a combination of your outline, your video targeting, everything else that we set up that actually leads to those conversions, right? It's more about the content, the substance, and who you're reaching, right? Reaching the right person, the right time, with the right video ad that actually gets them to convert. Now, you might be asking yourself, right, and obviously I always recommend for business owners to do this video yourself, especially if you're, in educational space, right, is to be the face of the business. But we have our influencer video production method that will allow any business to have a video produced by an influencer. Think about this, right? So if you're not going to be filming it yourself, and obviously I highly recommend you being in the video using an iPhone and a gimbal, which is a tool that kind of stabilizes it, to record your video ad. But if you, for whatever reason, can't be or don't want to be in the video, you can hire an influencer to produce your video ad. And here's the thing, influencers are people who are already producing videos on YouTube. There's somebody who already has a YouTube channel, and you can actually have them be a spokesperson for your product or service by having them do the video ad for you, often at a very cost-effective rate. So that's the other method you can use. Now what I want to do is talk about casting a wide net. Now this is one of the key principles for consistently creating winning YouTube video ads, is casting a wide net and narrowing down, right? So this is our advertisement launch cycle for YouTube ads. No worries if this is a little bit confusing. Essentially, the way that this works is you test an ad, you analyze, right, how it works, you see if it matched the winning, ad rule, which is, 1 to 2 rule. If it doesn't, you revise, you repeat, you test, you analyze. And then if you do have a winning ad, right, where at least, every dollar you put in is producing at least $2, obviously ideally much more than that, then you can scale that ad up or iterate and create new tests, right? And so what this really looks like, and the way I always like to illustrate it, is using this example. Let's say that your market is this bullseye, right? Is this target board. And you're throwing ads in the form of different targeting, right? And so you're throwing all of these darts at the board. As you can see, they land all over the place, different areas, right? You're testing a variety of different things. And what you need to do once you cast that wide net is you need to narrow down. So what you want to do is you want to get rid of everything that landed outside of the target board. Get rid of all of the targeting that didn't work, right? Just get rid of it. Then, in the outer rim, you want to get rid of those too, right? You don't want to run campaigns that aren't working that well. Now, some campaigns, they're going to be somewhere in the middle. These ones you want to revise and repeat, right? Because they're not actually your highest performing ads, but they're at least doing moderately well. So there's something there. You want to revise and repeat those, right? So you take these darts, you revise and repeat them. And what you're left with is your winning YouTube ads. The ads that actually hit the bullseye, right? So you hone in on that net. Now, if you hadn't thrown all those darts, you wouldn't have found what actually hit the bullseye. These are the campaigns that you can scale and also create additional, variant ads off of them, right? These are the campaigns you want to scale. Because what happens when you know how to hit the bullseye, right? You just throw more darts. So now every dart that you're throwing with that ad, that works is hitting the bullseye again and again and again. And that's how you scale up a winning YouTube ad. And this is what I like to talk about, right? This is the advertiser's mindset. Testing equals ad intelligence. So whenever you're testing different ads, you're gaining ad intelligence, and then you can exchange that ad intelligence for cold, hard cash. You can exchange that ad intelligence for a high converting campaign that's bringing in not just leads, but also sales. Now, here's a great example that I like to talk about, right? So let's say you shoot 10 ad targeting arrows for $10, $1 each, right? And so you can see here that 4 totally miss. That's $0 times 4, that's $0, right? 2 perform poorly. That's 50 cents times 2, $1, right? So they kind of bring in only half of what you actually spent on them. 2 break even. So $1 times 2 equals $2. 2 performed well, right? These hit the bullseye. $2 times 2 is $4. Now, you spent 10, you only made back 7. Did you lose? Really think about that for a second. You spent 10, you only made back 7. Throwing these darts at the board, did you lose? No. You gained ad intelligence. That is the delta that you have earned. You have gained ad intelligence. And that was the point of your whole test. Now you know exactly what works. So you do exactly what we talked about before. You trim the fat, you get rid of everything on the outer rims, and the next time you throw 10 darts, they all hit the bullseye. And that $10 turns into 20. You need to gain ad intelligence. You need to cast a wide net before you can narrow down. That's how it works with your YouTube ads. This is what I call the always win mindset. When you're casting a wide net and narrowing down, you always win. Your ads either succeed or you gain the ad knowledge, which will help you succeed the next time you run ads. Remember, when you're throwing these darts at the board, you're going to be able to know exactly what works. So then when you learn the targeting, the campaigns that actually work, you just keep throwing those darts at the bullseye and you hit it every time. That's the goal right there. And when you run video ads and you follow this process, you will always win. Now, what this looks like, as you can see here, is you have a variety of different keywords. So these are different, keywords that you're running your ad in front of. And you can see that there are some here on the cost per conversion side that are, $4, $4.29, $4.95. Those ones you want to keep running. There are some other ones that, it was like $19 per conversion or $13 per conversion, right? And actually, it's kind of funny. I'll say this on Facebook. Maybe those are good on Facebook, but that's not good on YouTube. So we turn those keywords off, and we focus on only the keywords that actually work, and we're going to scale those up. We're going to cover that more in the next part of this webinar. And so what that actually looks like is a high-ticket webinar YouTube ad just like this. Now, it doesn't have to just be a high-ticket YouTube ad. The same thing whether you have a product, service, SaaS product, downloads, whatever it happens to be, whatever you are promoting, this is how it works. You can see here that you have the conversions and the cost per conversions, and you can see exactly how many conversions can come through at a low cost when you really narrow in everything. And what this all plays into is conversion-centric targeting, right? Actually being able to reach ideal customers who are ready to buy. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is not knowing the full possibilities of YouTube targeting, right? So not just targeting keywords, like actually being able to know exactly what's possible with your YouTube ads. For example, you can run ads on your competitors' videos. You put together this ad that gets people excited, it hooks them, it educates them, has a call to action that goes to your funnel, and you can put that ad on your competitor's video itself. Imagine that. Somebody's going to watch your competitor's content, but in front of that video is your advertisement, essentially hijacking that traffic and putting it directly into your business. So I actually wanted to exit out of the webinar for a second here. Don't worry, we're going to come back to this in just a second to show you what this actually looks like. So I'm in AdWords right now. I just created an ad for this mock exercise course. I basically put together some clips of people working out, all stock footage, just to illustrate this. Obviously, this is not a real product I'm selling. This is just an example, but you can insert your own video advertisement here. So I'm running it as an in-stream ad, just sending people to ClickFunnels. You'd send them to your own page on there, obviously. Has a banner ad, and you can see right here, or banner that appears next to it, it's a video ad, but banner that appears next to video. You can see we have the video on mobile, video on desktop, the little banner right next to it. And this is the ad that we're gonna run. Now, we wanna target this ad in front of our competitors. So I searched weightlifting and I found this guy, Mike Thurston. He's got the beginner's guide to weight training. He's a great guy. He's got great content, but he's a competitor for this mock business. So what I wanted to do is run my ads against him. So I put in AdWords, I want to target Mike Thurston's videos, and here's what happens. On the consumer side, they search for weightlifting, they like Mike Thurston, they're going to watch his content, he's your competitor, they click on the beginner's guide to weight training, but here's what happens. When they load the video, it's not Mike's video that plays right away, it's your video ad. So you see it's your video ad playing in front of his video. Now, obviously, this would be you talking, going through the hook, educate, call to action. This is just a mock video that we have here. But as you can see, really capturing people's attention. And the thing is, let's say they didn't want it, they just wanted Mike, they click skip, you don't pay a single cent because they skip before 30 seconds. It's not until right about now that you actually pay for it. So they have to watch all the way up to there before you even pay for anything. So as you can see, this is your advertisement in front of Mike's video. It's Mike's title, it's his video here, but your video is playing first. You even have your little banner at the top right, people can click. Now here's the thing, somebody could click this little call to action. Now obviously we don't have it hooked up in ClickFunnels, but this will go directly into your funnel, off of YouTube and into your funnel to buy your own course. You also have the link here as well, right at the bottom. And the same thing for this little banner. Let's say they skipped this ad, this banner would actually stay there. So you can see how powerful it is to target your video ad in front of your competitor. And then at the end here, we're forcing a decision. We're trying to get people to go ahead and click the link, go and sign up. So you can see here, you can put your own YouTube video ad in front of your competitors, and just how powerful that is. That's how it's set up in AdWords, and this is what it looks like. This is what you can do to get your video in front of your competitors' videos on YouTube. It's incredibly powerful, and we've seen great ROI by doing that. All right, let's go back in over here and continue on. So that was just showing you how you can set this up. I wanted to really show you hands-on because it's one of my favorite things to do, and it's getting great results right now. So now that you've seen what's possible, let's talk about ad momentum scaling, which is capitalizing on momentum of successful YouTube ads for growth, right? So what you want to do is you want to optimize and scale. You want to decrease the cost per result, which is optimization, while increasing results, which is of course scaling. So you need to actually alternate that optimizing and scaling your campaign in order to succeed, right? Because it's the same way you can't lose weight and build muscle at the same time. You need to make sure that you optimize first. That's honing in and narrowing in that net that we talked about, right? Running the initial campaigns, then scaling, then repeating. So optimize, scale, repeat. That's how you're able to optimize your campaigns, like so, we talked about that, and then scale them up. Now, YouTube ads are a lot easier to scale than something like Facebook, because when you're scaling like a Facebook ad, you're just throwing more money at the algorithm and hoping that it will get you more leads or more sales. With YouTube, you're actually buying inventory in front of direct videos on YouTube. So if something's working, buying, let's say 1,000 views, what about 10,000 or 100,000? You actually can scale up your campaigns by buying more of what worked. That's what we talked about, throwing more of those bullseye darts, right? And that's how you scale up on YouTube. Remember, these are those darts that we talked about where you're casting a wide net, you're throwing a variety of darts, seeing what hits the bullseye, and then just throwing the same darts, running your ad into the same videos. It actually hits the bullseye in order to get the best results and in order to scale, right? That's what we're talking about here, optimizing and scaling what works. So what does this momentum actually look like on YouTube? And we showed you some of these screenshots earlier, but 10,900 new leads, in 2 weeks, 6% conversion rate. As you can see over here, 4.5x ROAS, right, with these YouTube ads. We talked about James getting those 11.7x ROI on YouTube ads, some campaigns as high as 17x, getting that first 6-figure month for a mutual client that we helped him run ads for. As you can see over here, the high ticket webinar registrations, $1.97. I mean, can you imagine getting webinar registrations for $1.97, whether it be high ticket course, whatever you happen to selling? As you can see here, less than $1,600 spent for over $57,000 in sales. We obviously talked about James a little bit earlier. I guess I have him up here again. Sorry about that. We also have Adam Chandler. As you can see, $29,000 off of just $3,600 of ad spend in the second month. He made an update video for us where he talked about how excited he was to get that momentum. Over 1,700 webinar leads in 7 days for just $4.47 per lead. As you can see here, this is David Emmons. We talked about him earlier. One of my favorite people, getting that 3x ROI, spending over $1,000 a day on YouTube ads. Obviously, we talked about the $514,000 revenue for $44,000 ad spend. This is James's email that he shot over. And then, of course, Nick and Zach, right, crossing over that 6-figure mark, all from YouTube ads, getting in front of the right people. And they actually had their Facebook ads account shut down. They've even said in this video that it was a blessing in disguise, having YouTube ads really take off for them. And so, as a quick recap, what we showed you on this webinar is how to create a bursting pipeline of leads and sales using the power of YouTube ads. We showed you our proven strategy to create video ads that actually convert to get people off of YouTube and into your own funnel, and the exact targeting and techniques that we use to turn cold video traffic into high converting customers. Now, this is all while reducing dependency on Facebook ads, which I'm sure you guys are all aware, the costs are going up rapidly, accounts are getting shut down, and they're ridiculously hard to scale, right? So we also showed you how you can create your own high converting YouTube ad, even if you don't have any video experience, how to turn that ad into a leads and sales machine that will actually convert, how to run that ad in front of other videos on YouTube when we showed you in Google Ads itself, including running in front of competitors' videos, hijacking that traffic, all of this while reducing dependency on Facebook and other platforms. And so now you have a choice to make. The first choice is to try and figure all of this out on your own. Everything we talked about, right? Try and figure it all out on your own. But there is a second choice. The second choice is to learn a proven and tested process from someone who's actually mastered YouTube video ads and successfully implemented this process into dozens of client businesses. The winner's path is to see how YouTube ads can be implemented for your business. So over the next 5 days, I've set aside some time to talk with you personally and see if we can help. We'll talk for about 45 minutes and we'll map out an exact action plan for you to follow so that you can create a new pipeline of leads and sales using YouTube video ads. Now, this call will probably be the most valuable 45 minutes you spend working on your business all year. And you can go to adoutreach.com/apply in order to book this call. It should be popping up right here on the screen, a link, or you could type it in, adoutreach.com/apply. Now, together, we'll dial into your business, your exact sales goals, and get absolute clarity on how to reach those goals as fast as possible using our YouTube ads methods, the same things that we showed you in this webinar. And you'll get an exact strategy to make it all happen, a roadmap for these YouTube ads. Now, why are we doing this? Well, if you want us to personally work with you to get your sales goals using YouTube ads, and if we think it's a good fit, then we may invite you to become one of the new clients that we take on, right? And if that's the case, we'll walk you through what it would look like and take you through an overview of our program that's designed to help you create a pipeline of leads and sales using YouTube video ads. And we'd expect new leads and sales coming into your business from YouTube ads within 30 days. So go ahead and book your strategy call at adoutreach.com/apply. You can click the link that should be popping up right here on the webinar. Don't miss that free strategy session that we have. You guys should get the PDF via email soon, but this is the next step. Go ahead and book that strategy call at adoutreach.com/apply. We'll hop on a call, see if it's a good fit, talk about how you can use YouTube ads for your own business. So I really appreciate you hopping on this webinar with me today. Go to adoutreach.com/apply. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. This is one of my favorite things, is talking with business owners like yourself and talking you through the exact strategy of implementing YouTube ads. So I am looking forward to speaking with you very soon. And what I'll leave you with at the end of this video, and there's still going to be that link to go to adoutreach.com/apply, schedule your strategy call, but I want to leave you with a few testimonials from people that had these calls with me, work with us for YouTube ads, and obviously these are all people that started by booking a call. So thank you for joining me on the webinar. I'll leave you with that video, but go to adoutreach.com/apply, schedule a time to speak with me, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you very soon about YouTube ads for your own business. All right, bye.
Hey, Chris Evans here. Just want to give a quick shout out to Alric and just say I appreciate his help on YouTube.
We cut our acquisition costs in half just by using YouTube over Facebook. Alaric is a wizard.
He really knows the stuff.
It's like a quantum leap.
We ask something and you make it effective. And that's what makes you different.
In just my second month working with these guys, I was able to turn $3,600 in ad spend into about $29,000 in revenue for my business. Like I said, in just the second month working with them, which is an 8x ROI, right, or 8x return on ad spend, which I couldn't be more thrilled about.
The payoff is far surpasses my original investment.
Then the first week that we launched our first campaign, we were able to close our first client, our first high-ticket client from cold traffic.
We're getting 3x ROI, okay, scale to $1,000 a day. Looking at, we cleaned some things up today to tighten things up so that 4x ROI is like in the future, very near future. So I'm just excited.
It feels good to finally have like a consistent stream of leads coming in.
You cannot work with a better team that understands the online marketing.
It's pretty amazing that we actually launched these very recently and have already received conversions within less than a week.
I knew there was a reason we hired this guy.
Hey, this month, man, we're actually crossing the 6-figure mark. It's crazy.
You guys nail it. I mean, you know what you're doing. That's what's so cool.
The first thing I want to say about Alaric and his team is trust. Like, I fully trust these guys.
If you're selling a service and you have a face, you should be on YouTube. Sales are crushing it. We got too many apps coming in, not enough scheduled spots. Like, we don't know where to put them. Unless we decide to become vampires and stay up all night, we actually can't hit all the sales spots we've got.
I can tell you, Alaric and his team is the right people to do your advertising, without a doubt.
It's thrilling to see it work, because I've been trying to do this for so long. You know, And just to see something really work and to see all those emails, stacking up, it was awesome, man. It was awesome.
Just in the last week, I'd say I've probably gotten about 150 webinar registrants from my YouTube ads, and we've gotten the cost down to right around $7 per registrant, which is pretty exciting.
It is unbelievable. Honestly, goodness, I buy tens of thousands of dollars of courses. Honestly, you're probably the top one or two I've bought really in the last 5 years. It's amazing, seriously.
Every day I wake up with something like 15 to 20 opt-ins that have cost me less than a quarter to obtain. It's the cheapest email opt-ins I've ever seen.
I really appreciate the done with you approach that you guys take, so that there are elements of it you're not afraid to get in and get dirty with us and make happen.
I know that the investment to do YouTube is not going to be as great as I was spending on Facebook, and I am expecting that we're going to have a great higher return, especially because I'm working with you, Alaric.
As long as you have a good product, Alaric and them are going to be able to help you guys, through every step of the process, figuring how to target your audience, creating the videos, setting up the ads. I mean, it seems like their knowledge is of actual Google AdWords and all that kind of stuff they know it like the back of their hand. So it's like anything that comes up, they figure it out. They're going to be good to go.
The difference between working with you, Alaric, and working with some of these other gurus is that you are very personal. I believe you when you say that you want your clients to succeed.
You got to take the leap. You got to go for it. I mean, you got to learn from somebody who's done it before.
It's about owning your market, owning your audience, and really establish yourself as the authority. And there's no better way to do that than on YouTube. So, as an example, on Facebook, Alaric and his team were able to get us and our clients 10x on Facebook and 17x on YouTube.
I can tell that you're drawing from all this stuff that you know, and you're critiquing people's videos, and you're giving them the answers. It's such a help to anyone who's first coming into your program.
Alaric is a wizard, and he was in there, his mouse was moving, and he was telling me the words of what he was doing, but it was magic. I wasn't understanding as he zipped around fixing things. I would just see the next day that magically whatever issue we had was solved.
I went in knowing literally nothing about YouTube ads, and now Alaric and his team, got an amazing team, by the way, have helped me design a bunch of different videos and put the whole campaign together. And honestly, we're getting this week alone, I had 10 calls scheduled from it. Last week, I probably have the same, maybe 8 to 10 calls. We've only been doing the actual ads have only been live for maybe 3 to 4 weeks.
I just sit here with you and watch you fly through my ad account, tweaking things like a mechanic on a Maserati. I mean, it's like, okay, now take it around the track. Alaric and his team are going to show you an ROI today on this ad that they put together, but it doesn't account for that ad that they put together that continues to keep paying you.
He really knows the stuff. YouTube and Google ads is way different than Facebook ads. It was a whole new world to me, and I definitely needed the guidance that Alaric's given me so far.
I mean, you really know what your video has to look like. You know the components that have to be there, and you know how to get an entrepreneur to the finished product that's going to produce the click.
I think YouTube is just the right platform for anybody who is looking to grow their business.
When you can find an expert that, like we found here, that can just help you just get a jump start on everything, jump out there ahead of all your competition, I mean, you got to take it. There's just, it's a no-brainer.
We heard about Alaric, and as we were looking at the kind of things that he provided, it just gave us so much clarity.
The results have been really, really good. We've had campaigns that we've had to actually shut off because of the high volume of leads that we're getting.
He has real clients doing crazy results, not just me. So it's just, I'm happy I chose correctly.
Alaric will not let you down. It is absolutely, hands down, the best course I've ever enrolled in. I couldn't be happier. You
guys just absolutely nailed it. I mean, look at this, $1.42 webinar registrations. I mean, I love it, absolutely love it.
The done with you environment, 100% totally the way to go, especially the way you do it.
If you guys are considering jumping on YouTube, then I would definitely go with Alric. The dude knows what's going on with YouTube. He's been leveraging YouTube successfully for a very long time.
The one thing that, really though resonates with me the most is the heart that Alaric and his team have. And, one of the things that obviously, we and he feel strongly about is really the true impact with integrity. And for one of our clients, with Alaric's help, we're able to get him his first 6-figure month.
You care about your clients, your team cares about your clients. It was very evident that you care very much about our success.
We built a relationship with, Alaric's, then he had access to all of our data and this really excelled our business to the next level. Are you serious about this being a business? And if it's going to be a business for you, you need to be able to scale it. And you can only scale it with somebody who knows what they're doing. And Alaric knows his stuff. And that's the bottom line.
The actual setting up the videos and getting it done, they made it a piece of cake. So yeah, anybody's considering this, don't consider anymore, just sign up.
If you're on the fence, just get on a call with them, talk to them. They'll explain how they can help you, and it'll make a lot more sense then. But again, if you're on the fence, yeah, just go for it.
If you want to get results fast now, when you're going to see the best results in whatever industry you're in, you should do it with Alaric, and you should do it now.
Манхэттене такие квартиры, которые не вручали, стоят 4-5 миллионов долларов. Кто не говорит, что это будет стоить сколько? Ну, его не за 4, а за миллион. Такую, а маленькую, сколько я сказал, сколько у меня? 60 тысяч. Комната большая, балкон, веранда, спальня и очень большая ванна. Чем можно что-то сказать? Роскошная квартира стоит на Иваново, и роскошный этаж. Вот должно было думать, пока я не ответил. Я очень понял, я понял. Он говорит, что это привлекательнее, это социальное. Я просто, у меня есть рисунки, они показывают, да, помните? Я видел, сначала показывают пиар, потом заходят, то есть показывают спорт, показывают я все показывал, я обалдел, как сделано. Такой музыкой, и музыку надо, как это ходит, музыка детей, там, какие-то приколы, если там сталкиваются, нет, и ты поднимаешься, вот, и он показывает пиар. Есть такие, но он поставил на вот эти видео, по этим пунктам, я не знаю, это его фирменная компания, которая продает летучие. Он ведь не на бум, я не знаю, где он делает. Один из таких фильмов мне привел история водителя самолета, это мне надо, мне золото, мне сказали сегодня, Бог не дает вот это, он знает об этом в Бразилии. Он говорит, что у него есть работа, что он не пойдет. Он говорит, что он знает, что он будет. Так, ну, он так, я ну, свет. Но, у него работа есть. Не страшно. Я тебе говорю, что это не страшно. Это в джунглях село, магазин. А внутри рай есть. Знаешь, что такое голден наггет? Голден наггет. Это окей, вот эту бутылку, вот эту бутылку с фольгой я это тяжелая такая, эти вот 3 килограмма. Они бутылку деревянную, железную, чтобы она не выисполнилась.
Leads are coming in, costs are really, really low. Like we're getting $10 leads to a VSL. The call booking rate on the back end of the VSL is really, really strong. The ads performing really well.
Hey, Chris Evans here.
Дай ему ответить, дай, заткнись уже. Могу, да, дай одну секунду. Подожди секунду там, подожди минуту. Что там нахуй? Потому что другой меня хотел тянуть в курс, я заплатил, он там где-то минус 40. тебя есть такой флаг, ты знаешь? Это профессиональная профессионал, Ага, ты знаешь, да? Включить тебе там камеру, чтобы включался твой флаг. А свет не ночью. Эта камера ночью фотографирует тоже. Ой, одну секунду. Да, я, у нее нет телефона. Он, наверное, она не побывает. Ее автобус, там, наверное, не едет. Я не понимаю. Я не знаю, наверное, ей принесли эту почту, этот телефон. Сейчас я, наверное, телефон не принесли, да? Вот, звоню, я тебе отдаю. Я знаю, когда карточка у меня включена в телефон ее, идут звонки, а когда нет, сразу этот голос включается. Слышишь? Это будет не градус звонить. Когда телефон отключен, сразу включается голос женщины. Слушай. Что тебе сказать? Когда сразу голос, все, они включены, и значит карточка не в телефоне или телефон отключен, у нее нет телефона. Все. А кто тебе звонит? Это нормально. Пусть пишет. Позвони ей, позвони. Уметь надо. Возьми селфон свой такой. У тебя есть селфон. Да вот и пользуйся вторым. Потому что я всем даю этот телефон, мне не надо с ними говорить. Не с кем говорить. Они нужны, чтобы... я даю этот телефон, потому что, чтобы не говорить с теми, кто мне не нужен. Я поэтому отвечу. Мне нужно, чтобы мейлы посылали. Это булшитно, я вижу, кто тебе звонит. Это бабки без мозгов. Тебе кто-то рассказал про их? У них ничего нет. Вообще ни черта нет. Пустота.